What is going on, everybody? This is Gabriel Jones giving you a drop of sun any chance I get, and welcome to the first half of May. I'm feeling pretty jazzed for today because I am going to be going into New York City to hang out with my brother and some friends. I'm going to try to record this episode pretty quickly because I have to catch a train in a few hours. But in the time we're going to share with each other today, we have some amazing new music to look at, specifically from some glorious queer icons. The Four to Blast also includes some anthemic party jams, and we have our artist on the rise, as per usual. So I think I've done enough bantering for the intro. Why don't we just hop into it? I hope you got your favorite ice cream to eat, because the sun is up for the sum up. For this episode, I'm gonna do something incredibly rare in this series. I'm reviewing an album from a band. More specifically, I'll be taking a look at MUNA and their fourth album, Dancing on the Wall. MUNA is a power pop trio hailing from Los Angeles. The members consist of Katie Gavin, Josette Maskin, and Naomi McPherson, who all met each other while attending USC. MUNA began releasing their own EPs and eventually signed with RCA Records. This gave them a chance to work with popular artists like Harry Styles and Maren Morris. Speaking candidly, I haven't explored MUNA's music that much before recording this video, but I have been familiar with some of their previous tunes. For one, I fell in love with their 2023 single, One That Got Away, where Katie sings about breaking off a romance with another woman after her feelings were not returned. I'm also a sucker for their collab with Leland, Bad at Letting Go, which makes me want to hit up a club every time I play it. To give them better research, I checked out their self-titled album from 2022. The record is full of gorgeous, heavy-hitting pop jams detailing queer pride, tragic heartbreak, but also romantic bliss. I'm telling you, this group would have rocked in the 80s. I've been thirsting for a strong pop album for a few weeks, and maybe I found what I've been looking for in Dancing on the Wall. MUNA hasn't let me down yet, so I'm wishing for a stunning listen. We'll be continuing our MUNA discussion in just a few moments, but for now I want to give you my four to blast for the first half of May. These are singles that I think could do a lot to shake up the charts or really impress listeners, so I hope you're paying attention as I reveal them to you. The music today is just hitting so freaking hard, and you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about when I discuss these songs. So with all of that chatting out of the way, let's get into it. This is my four to blast. The first song we're talking about today is Eat You Alive by Adam Lambert. Adam Lambert has kept pretty busy these past few years, from serving as a strong queer ally to starring in productions of Cabaret. But of course, he's still running a music career, and with the new album on the horizon, he's giving us the sensual Eat You Alive. This song is given an aggressive pop production, forcing you to acknowledge its power. It's essential for a tune where Adam relishes in how much intimacy his partner is going through, basking in the lust that the two lovers are feeling. What's also clever are the moments in the intro and bridge where Adam gives us the acoustic guitar melodies to create such close, intimate moments. It takes me back to the days of Chris Allen. One detail I personally love is how he pronounces the B every time he sings Come Take a Bite in the chorus, showcasing some great enunciation. I know it's been ages since Adam Lambert has seen a substantial run on the Hot 100, but if you're curious to see what he's been up to, I would recommend giving Eat You Alive a listen. Our next single is Epa by Becky G. For the longest time, Becky G has been a colossal star in Latin pop. I specifically remember her duet with Karol G, Mommy. For this month, she dropped a super energized dance anthem called Epa. Here, we see Becky G encourage all the people around her to party as much as their hearts can take it. She encourages listeners to dance in the rain, confess their love to their crushes, and forget about all the sadness clouding their lives. She also gives the song horn-like keyboards and a loud, vibrating beats that will ensure that all patrons are moving their bodies. What makes it even more engaging is how she adds a monologue from activist Dolores Huerta, demanding for people to treat a catchy beat as if it's life-saving because they desperately need that relief. Those are powerful words coming from a lifelong fighter like her. If there's any song this track reminds me of, it's Beyonce's Break My Soul, because it's a song all about celebrating life even if the daily grind is beating you down. I'm expecting the joyous Epa to be played at parties all over the world. Becky G crafted a brilliant formula. Now it's time for our next song, which is Material Lover by SIENNA SPIRO. The Devil Wears Prada 2 has been taking over pop culture this past month, and they recruited SIENNA SPIRO for the soundtrack. It's only fitting since her big break was literally in a Gap commercial. Her song for the movie is called Material Lover. SIENNA embraces a jazzy R&B persona with this jam, almost like she's trying to channel the late Amy Winehouse. She adds a tasteful amount of horns, bass guitars, and organs to a song where she boasts about her fashion sense and how much she loves spending money. Even without viewing the sequel, I can picture Andy walking down the New York City streets, purchasing lavish clothing from stores and feeling the joy pour over her as she swipes her card. Only SIENNA's smoky voice can elevate this track to bring out the bright tone. The employees at Runway magazine may be cynical, but they'll probably lighten up after hearing Material Lover. Our final entry in today's For to Blast is Something to Lose by STELLA, LEFTY, and Vincent Mason. This entry is fascinating because it comes from two artists who I've only learned about this past month. STELLA LEFTY is a country vocalist going viral for her song Boston, and Vincent Mason is a Roswell native who's been gaining attention since 2024. I haven't explored either of their work that much, but I will say that I was charmed by Something to Lose. This duet depicts Stella and Vincent as two lovers falling deeper into their romance when they never anticipated it. This especially works since the two singers are apparently sparking dating rumors. Ooh. You also get to enjoy some gentle guitar playing while the artists flirt. While I'm impressed by Stella and Vincent's singing, what really threw this over the top for me is finding that Grace Enger worked as a songwriter. I was blown away by her set during the Maisie Peters concert in 2023, and it's pleasing to see she's getting a chance to show off her lyricism. I'm sure Something to Lose will be on the DJ's playlist while kids are slow dancing at prom. Be sure to give every single one of those songs a listen because each of them have something special to offer. I can already picture Eppa going hard at clubs. Like, people are gonna have fun with that one for sure. But with all of that out of the way, let's get back to discussing Muna's Dancing on the Wall. Pop bands have been a curious case in the 2020s because there doesn't seem to be too many of them appearing on the charts. Of course, we have seen acts like Jonas Brothers, Coldplay, and One Republic hold on to relevance, and one of the biggest hits of the decade is from a pop band, that being Heat Waves by Glass Animals. But it's pretty clear that the genre of pop is mostly delegated to solo performers these days. Adam Levine has even shared his feelings on the lack of bands in the mainstream, saying it's a dying breed. As much as I dislike Levine's music, I can understand his sentiment. But the silver lining is that plenty of pop bands are now seen as some of the more prestigious acts in the genre, such as the 1975 and Bleachers. And I would say Muna deserves to be in that camp, especially after hearing Dancing on the Wall. Like I said before, this trio is totally oozing with 80s aesthetics, with how much power they give their synth anthems. I can picture them grooving away under the neon lights as the clubbers crowd around each other for some passionate partying. But in the middle of this fun jamboree, there are tracks of heartache. The title track is especially epic. Katie sings about giving her partner so many chances in their relationship, but is repeatedly let down by them. The song even leads you to believe this lover will finally make her proud, but she is once again disappointed by how much they aren't giving in the romance. The production really helps to illustrate how tremendous the emotions are. The songs are packed with heavy synths that effortlessly punch the listener with their melodies. Girl's Girl literally sounds like a song they played in a Jazzercise episode. You have to give Josette and Naomi their flowers. They know how to transport you to another plane with their wild drums and intricate keyboards. One moment that deserves recognition is the bridge on East Side Girls, creating such an astonishing sound that leaves you needing a breath afterwards. Another track that really stands out is Big Stick, an angry protest anthem pointing out the faults of the American government, which also gives a pro-Palestine message, letting listeners know which side of this dreadful conflict they're on, and turning this into a truly progressive album. Of course, it's also important to recognize the queer themes that are infused with this record. Wanna Be Her is an aggressive rock song where Katie envies a badass woman, and East Side Girls is where she shoots her shots with her crush now that her previous date moved across the country. Perhaps the biggest example of this is Why Do I Get a Good Feeling, where Katie is alone with another person after a party has wrapped up, and the two of them are tempted to go into the bedroom and have an intimate night with each other. My least favorite track would have to be On Call, because I find the melodies to be constructed a bit wonky. But that's just my one nitpick. Pop listeners should definitely give Dancing on the Wall a listen if they love pop music, especially music that displays gay pride. Yeah, I don't really have a good idea for just how well this is going to perform on the Billboard 200, or if it will even enter the chart. but I can guarantee that it's a splendid listen. Seriously, the title track will leave you with your jaw on the floor. Now, to close out the video like always, I'm gonna give you my artist on the rise for the first half of May. This is someone who's been releasing music for quite a few years now, but I think they deserve to have their chance in the spotlight. This singer is someone who's really had an interesting journey with their sound, so I'm curious to see how you guys would react to them. So I'm gonna cut the BS and get right into it. My artist on the rise for the first half of May is Lila Drew. Lila Drew is a British artist who has spent a huge portion of her youth living in Los Angeles and started working on her own material at age 14. She's been publishing music ever since 2020. When I look at Lila's older outputs, I see an aspiring singer having fun with different sounds, but also attempting to find her footing in the recording industry. I'm sure that's a lot of pressure on a girl who signed a record deal as a teenager. It appears that she took a bit of a hiatus from music for 4 years, but eventually returned this year and dropped a new single titled Same Old Song. This track contains a mixture of trippy country melodies that remind me of Casey Musgraves. Throughout the indie pop-inspired sound, Lila sings to her sweetheart who she's taking a break from. She's thinking of reigniting their feelings for each other, even if it could end in a big mess. You'll be wowed by some of the instrumentals on this single. We could see the rise of a new pop sensation if Lila Drew earns enough streams. It'll be curious to see where Lila Drew takes her craft next, since she is a very bright new face in the industry. But with all that said, we are pretty much wrapped up here. Thank you guys so much for joining me on another episode of The Sum Up. I had fun with this one. I hope you did as well. The weather is officially warming up. I get to wear my shorts in the big city, and I'm sure today is gonna be fun. But yeah, you guys should go outside, enjoy the warm weather, and see what all of life has to give you. In the meantime, if you guys wanna follow me on social media, be sure to check out my Blue Sky, my Twitch, and my TikTok. Links will be in the description. And that's where we are wrapping up for today. My name is Gabriel Jones, and the sun may be setting, but I hope you were able to soak up those drops. Take care.